Hello everybody, Ian, Starship Adventures, and today I want to talk about the ARRL. I was just made aware of something that had happened recently, and as you know, I've spoke very critically about the league in the past because I joined it myself and I experienced what they had to offer and how it was done, and I decided I didn't like it and I left. But I have been very outspoken because I want to save ham radio. I want to make ham radio great again. And the only way we're going to do that is to address the problems. And one of the things in ham radio that seems to be a real issue is addressing problems head on. Most hams, because it's a hobby, they don't want to badmouth anybody. They don't want to speak negatively of anybody or anything. And because of that, things in ham radio tend to stagnate more than in the real world. And I hate that, and I think that's what's causing right now the hobby to basically stagnate itself into non-existence. And that's what's going to happen over the next 50 years because there's no innovation, there's nothing going on here when it comes to organizations and clubs and things like that. A lot of the local clubs are just abstract disasters when it comes to management and corruption and collusion and things like that. And the ARRL itself it's a waste of money. It exists because it exists. More than half their money is spent on salaries, and it just exists because it exists. And they keep fighting every day to keep existing because that's where they work and they need that money to feed their kids. And so the care of ham radio operators and the care of the hobby has kind of gone away, and we're now in a survival mode where the ARRL is floundering, failing, and they're trying to prevent it at all costs, but they don't know what to do. Which brings me to this video. They hired a firm, a PR firm, to come in. And the reason they hired this PR firm is because, did you know that every year, and these numbers come right from an ARRL board meeting, okay, right from the minutes. There is 30,000 new ham radio operators every year. 30,000, approximately. Did you know that only 10% of those join the ARRL? Now, why is that? The VE, most of the testing is done by ARRL through the ARRL VE program. So these people are ARRL members that are giving the tests. They're giving it with the blessing and even the financing of the ARRL. Why would they not use that as an opportunity, to gain more membership? They're only converting 10% at these testing sessions. 10%. Now think about when I went to my testing session here that was run by my local group, which is an abstract failure as well. When I went to that VE session, they didn't tell us anything. The first thing they started telling us was the rules of the test. And the rules, my God, they went over it 3 times. And what we had to do and how it was so stringent and strict. I swear they think they're certifying people to fly fighter planes or something. They took it so seriously, and we all had to sit like 8 feet apart, and we all had to it was ridiculous. Anyway, long story short, I got up. They congratulated me for passing the test. They gave me a pamphlet for the local club, and I walked away. There was no discussion. They're not like, hi, welcome to ham radio. Would you like a mentor? There's some guys over here that want to mentor you. There was no, hey, join our club or join the ARRL and protect our bandwidth. There was none of that. I got up and I walked out. Why? Most ham radio people are not people. They're not. And the guys giving the test, although I've actually know some of them now, and they're actually nice guys, some of them. Yes, some of them. But the point is when I was there that day, they passed up an amazing opportunity to bring me into ham radio and to show me what's great about ham radio. And the truth is, they never did that. I got up and I walked out. So that explains why in VE sessions that are partially financed and run and managed by the ARRL and the local club, why are they only able to turn 10% of the people that get tested there into ARRL members? The reason is because they don't. They just walk in, they give the test. A lot of these people, it's about authority. It's about the nature of being in charge of something, the chain of command, the rules. A lot of ham people, they love rules. Oh, look at all these rules I get to enforce. And you find a lot of those, unfortunately, get into the ARRL's management system. So that's why we only seem to convert about 10% of the ham radio licensees every year, even though they're exposed to the ARRL right at the beginning. Then the next year, of these 3,000 people, only 600 of them will renew for the second year. These numbers come right from the ARRL. Please don't leave comments in this video that say the following: your numbers are wrong. I don't know where you got your numbers, but they're all wrong. These come right from the ARRL. These are their numbers, okay? Only 600 people from that original 30,000. Remember, 3,000 joined of the 30,000, and now 600 of them actually come back and the second year. You guys realize that that's only a 2% capture rate. 2%. Think of anything else in the world that only has a 2% capture rate and remains successful. Can you think of anything? Maybe I'll put some Jeopardy music in right here. Dee, dee, dee. Can you think of anything? No. Doesn't. Anything that only captures 2% of the interest of a specific thing generally fails. I mean, come on. That's common sense, right? Now, here's the problem. After the second year, they only keep 600 members out of that 30,000 from the year before. Do you know that more than 600 ARRL members silent key every year? That means after 2 years, they're retaining 600, and every year they're losing a little over 600. You can see why their numbers continue to drop, and nothing's being done about it. So the ARRL decided, hey, we need to do something to make a sustainable business model here. And so they decided they were going to hire a PR firm. So what did they do? They hired a PR firm out of Avon, Connecticut, which is right near their home office in Connecticut, which I think is part of the problem why they're so disconnected with the rest of the world. Generally, you don't run a worldwide organization from BF Egypt. I'm just saying. But anyway, so they hire a PR firm out of Avon, Connecticut. They're called Mintz and Hoke. They hire Mintz and Hoke out of Avon, Connecticut to come in and to do a study of the ARRL, and get this, find out why we're bleeding members so bad. I'll tell you, I could have saved them a lot of money. I'd have done this for half the price, and I could have had it done in 5 minutes, okay? It's real easy. They hired a PR firm. They spent your money, if you're a member, and they hired a PR firm to come tell them why they're bleeding membership. You can ask almost anybody. They've never sent me anything to ask me why I left, or why I didn't join back up, or why I didn't get a membership this year. They send me that letter every year. I've even got a video on receiving the letter you can go back and watch. They send a letter to me saying, hey, here's the benefits, you should join. They've never once asked me why I left. Wouldn't that have been hiring a God-blessed PR firm? You should have asked me why I left. Ask the people that are leaving why they're leaving. That to me seems to be the best course of action, but they don't do that. They've never sent me a post-membership survey to find out why I feel that it was not worth my money, to spend on this. To me, that's where that money should have been spent. That money should have been spent to put out something to all the people that have been members over the last 10 years and ask them, please tell us why. And then take that information and boil it down into something you can use. That's how you fix an organization. You don't fix an organization by hiring some out-of-touch PR firm from BF Egypt and having them come in. They don't know anything about anything with ham radio, and they're going to come in and tell you how to fix the ARRL. Okay, interesting. So what did they find? Well, they did, this is a marketing and branding PR firm, okay? So you have to look at it. They're going to be coming from that angle. The board actually had to pay the PR firm tens of thousands of dollars to get this information. Tens of thousands of dollars of your money, if you remember, to get this firm to come in and do this study. And what did they find? Well, they say that it's the problem is a lack of Elmers, a lack of mentors that are willing to take new hams under their wing. Wow, really? See, the lack of mentors is because the ARRL is failing and the local clubs are corrupt and screwed up. This is the problem with ham radio. No one wants to mentor anymore because they don't want to be involved in any of these systems. I would love to mentor someone, but I'm not going to be a member of my local corrupt club or the ARRL so that I can become in contact with people to mentor. I've mentored a few people, not through those systems, and it's worked out, but I'm not going to be a part of these broken systems. Another issue that they found was that the website was terrible. Well, we all know that the ARRL's website it's very Windows XP. We all know that it's antiquated. One of the biggest things they push for membership is access to our complete website. Well, I got news for you. Every single thing on their website can be found with a simple Google search. Membership to their website provides you with nothing that you don't already have. And this company thinks that they need to rebuild their website. That's their problem, that they need to rebuild their website. My God, really? Yeah, the website sucks, but that's not the problem. The problem is the entire mission, the entire direction. Everything is off because they're still living like it's 1985. They're still living like Al Gore hadn't invented the internet yet. And my God, you got to step up to the future here, right? I don't get it. They actually proposed that the ARRL build a new website. And oh, by the way, this company builds websites and offered to build them one for $400,000. That's right, one-time payment of $400,000. Do you believe that? That's nuts. And guess what? They're going to call it the Lifetime Learning Center. Okay? And for $400,000, what are we going to get? What are members going to get for their $400,000 on this new website that they're going to build? Well, nothing, because that only covers the basic infrastructure of the website. Now, if you want actual content on it, like how to build an antenna, you got to put that on there yourself. So the $400,000 doesn't even buy you the content. It only buys you the infrastructure. ARRL, listen to my voice. Listen, you ready? I'll do it for half that much in half the time. Half as much, half the time. Call me. Okay, and I won't even ask for a free membership. My Lord. And I'll populate it with some stuff too. The real kicker is the money. It's just a framework. It literally was just for a framework. So I don't know what they're doing as far as, are they going to rebuild their website or not? We really don't know. We're still kind of waiting to see. But this company has recommended that they get more Elmers, which the reason we don't have Elmers is because of the lack of management in the ARRL. And they suggest the ARRL completely replace their website with a new one that they want to build. Wow. That's the recommendations. They spent tens of thousands of dollars to get those recommendations, and those recommendations suck. The real reason that the ARRL is bleeding membership is not the website's kind of crappy. It's because you want $59 and you give us nothing to show for it. I tried to join my small club that I was starting. ARRL wanted nothing to do with us because there was already an ARRL club in this area. And they don't approve two clubs in the same area anymore. So basically, the ARRL has like a monopoly, and these clubs that want so bad to join the ARRL have to follow their rules. And it becomes a real mess. And then you end up with a club like the one I have here that has a whole system engineered to make sure that the right people become officers every year. This is what's wrong with ham radio, people. What's wrong with ham radio is the fact that nothing works. It's all antiquated, and there is layers of corruption and layers of abuse and layers of waste that I just don't know if it'll ever get fixed. I gave up on my local club years ago. They have it rigged. I tried to run for office. They wouldn't even put my name on there. They decide who gets to run, and then they pick a group that decides the final slate, and then the final slate is voted on by the 19% of the people that show up for the meeting. And so you really, if you're wanting to move up and do good things and be active in your local club, forget about it. They're not interested in that. They're a bunch of old curmudgeons that just want to keep things going the way they're going. The ARRL over the years, they've made some really big mistakes, and I think this needs to be brought up right here. Not only do they need to change and fix and all these other things that we just talked about, but they've got to recover for some pretty big mistakes they've made over the last 10 years or so. I'll give you a good one. COVID. They completely screwed this up. They went head over heels with this whole COVID thing, banning ham fests, preventing get-togethers, issuing guidance to the clubs and to everybody to not do anything. They completely stifled ham radio for over 3 years, and it was all crap. Every bit of it was crap. And why did they do it? Because they're rules people. They love rules. They love to enforce things on people. And COVID was out there to really embolden all these bullies out there. That's what COVID was. And it worked great for the ARRL. They bullied the shit out of people for about 3 years over COVID. What a ridiculous mess that was. And rising dues. They chose to raise your dues by $9 a year and stopped sending you a printed magazine in the same year. It's almost like kicking you in the ass twice. What the hell were they thinking? Why couldn't they do one year and one the next year? Logic would dictate that would soften the blow, right? I mean, that shows you how desperate they are and how far into this tailspin that they happen to be, that they had to make those two really big changes for their members all in 1 year. That's how drastic it was. A $9 increase in your dues to $59. And then now they want to charge you $25 for the one magazine and $25 for the other magazine, which you only get 6 issues of. It's ridiculous. So what they did was they brought the value down and they brought the price up. Way to go, ARRL. What a crap business model that is. And I think another big mistake they've made over the years is the ARRL has become hostile to new clubs that want to join. Small clubs, small competition clubs, survivalist clubs. People that don't want to be part of the big club in town because of the corruption. People that don't want to be involved in all the crap that's going on. So they've started their own small group with 20 people. And the ARRL will not even return your phone calls. It's ridiculous. I tried for 6 months to join my local club with the ARRL, and they wouldn't even return my phone calls. I've never once met someone from the ARRL. I've been to ham fests. I've been to summer and winter field days. I've been to just about every kind of ham radio event you can ever go to, and I've never seen anybody from the ARRL. I've never met anybody with the ARRL. I don't know where these people are. Oh, that's right. They're all in Connecticut. That's right. I know where they're at. They're in Connecticut. All right. Very good. They claim lobbying is the main reason you should join. That if you don't join, They're going to take all our bandwidth away. The truth is their lobbying has little to no effect in D.C. Really, it doesn't. Most lawmakers couldn't give a shit about radio spectrum, and if you want to sit down and have a steak dinner with them and tell them all about how important ham radio is, they'll sit and eat the steak. I'm telling you guys something, okay? This lobbying, this dependence on their lobbying, it's crap. They only speak for 5% of us. They're not the voice of ham radio anymore, and they haven't been for quite some time. We're the voice of ham radio, and we have the internet now and YouTube and things like this to fight our battles. We don't need the ARRL anymore. We beat that mobile microphone law in Pennsylvania. We beat it. The ARRL did shit. They did shit. You know how we beat it? Myself and a bunch of other YouTube creators caught a hold of that and started blasting it out everywhere. And calling them on it. And they took ham radio and made an exemption for them. Bam! Just like that. ARRL didn't do that. They had nothing to do with it. I don't think the lobbying, I think that's simply the crutch they fall back on because it's something that cannot be proven or disproven. How can you prove definitively that something they did with a lobbyist has benefited you? You can't. So they say things like, if we don't have lobbyists, we're going to lose our bandwidth. Oh my God! Well, of course they're going to say that. They want you to believe that so that you'll pay that $59 and not get your printed magazine. The ARRL takes, they take surveys, but only with their membership. They do not survey past members or people that didn't join. That's where the answers lie, and they don't want to hear it. Anyone who truly wants to fix themselves will ask the people that hate them what's wrong. Anybody that doesn't want to fix themselves will ask the people that like them what is wrong. Think about it. Only a fool wakes up every day, does the exact same thing, puts his pants on the same way, drives to work the same way, sits at the office the same way, types the same letters to the same people, and expects it to be different. It's not going to be different. If you get up every day and do the same thing, you're going to have the same life every day. And the ARRL has fallen into that groove. They wake up every day and they do the same thing. And every day they bleed off another 63 members. What is going on? You hired somebody for tens of thousands of dollars. They gave you crap advice and you're not even going to follow that. What could be done? Let's talk about that. Let's take the positive. I like to always end my negative rant with a positive. Okay, here it is. What could be done? ARRL, this is the part you want to play in your next board meeting right here, starting now. Number one, VE exam takers should have an official welcome kit. And I'm gonna go crazy here and tell you something. You want to go crazy? Here's what they should get in that welcome kit. You want to save the hobby? You got to do something extreme. You got to do something crazy. Here's what we do. We make a deal with Baofeng. We buy 100,000 Baofeng radios for $12 a piece. Okay? Every kit gets 1 free year membership to ARRL. They get free membership to the ARRL's new Elmer website that's going to help new people get going. They're going to get a Baofeng that's already programmed by their local club with their local repeaters in it. You know, 70% of ham radio licensees never own a radio. They never get their first radio. And then you wouldn't believe how many of them buy their first radio and they can't figure out how to program it and they give up. This could all be solved by the club simply giving them what would be a $12 or $20 radio, okay? I can buy them on Amazon for 26 bucks. I know we could buy them in bulk for half that much. And everybody could walk out with a working radio that they could walk out, and we'll take them out in the parking lot and have them make their first CoCo. Why don't we do that? Why don't we show them a video? Why don't we talk to them about the ARRL and the benefits that the ARRL provides? They have to flower it up a little bit, but simply show people what we do in ham radio and make them a part of it by handing them a working device on the very first day. They've already paid $35 to get their license. Now they get this kit that comes with paperwork on how to do stuff, websites that you can go through. There should be something in there where they could email a website and it will immediately email them back all the links to every website they could ever need. I mean, think about how easy something like this would be for a national group, okay? And all that time and energy and money that you guys spend around up there in Connecticut doing your thing, I mean, you really could take that time and money and put together these kits and actually start bringing people back into the hobby again. Taking people that are coming in and giving them a kit that includes an ARRL bumper sticker. It includes a membership card. Oh my God. You guys don't send membership cards. Even my local club, when I was a member, sent me a really nice plastic membership card. My God. You guys sent me a link to a PDF file so I could print out my own membership card. $59. And I have to print out my own membership card. My God. A short video at these VE sessions and some hams that are warm and inviting. That's another problem. They're not people. These hams sit there and they do their job. I rubber stamp. I check and make sure that that guy doesn't talk to that guy during the test. You gotta get 23. If you don't get exactly 77%, blah, 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 blah. Come on. That's literally, these guys were like Gestapos giving a test to young people joining the military or something. Okay, I'll give you another example. The ARRL should be expanding their scope. Instead, they don't. They choose not to. Preppers. We've got these preppers. We've got people out there, thousands and thousands and thousands of people every year getting their license so that they're ready for the end of the world. But they're still getting their license. They're going to have radios. They're going to want to test them. They're going to want to be a part of a community. Why does the ARRL completely ignore the prepper population? They should have a whole part of their website for preppers. I mean, this should be their thing. Instead, they shun these people, and none of them join. And the few that join, leave. There you go. Why not? Why can't the ARRL? It's not the ham radio. I mean, it's the American Radio Relay League. The word amateur and ham are not even in the name. Why can't they expand that out to cover CB, FRS, GMRS? There's so many other radio services out there that these people could get memberships from. There's whole clubs of GMRS people all over the country. I've got a GMRS license. I've been talking a lot on GMRS. I find the people there a lot nicer. And you can talk about anything you want without getting warned off a repeater. I like it. Why the ARRL, they look at FRS, GMRS, and all these other radio services out there, CB specifically. They look at them as nuisances and competition instead of looking at them as other windows of opportunity like they actually are. The decline in membership is only going to get worse. The only way to fix the ARRL is to gut it out, re-examine what they're doing, lower the cost of what they're doing, stop spending almost $8 million a year on CEO and managers' salaries, and start looking at ways that you can bring more people in and stop losing the people you have. You didn't need to hire those people for tens of thousands of, I don't even have an exact number. They wouldn't put it out. They just said tens of thousands of dollars. I just gave you everything you needed to know right now. I don't mean to sound conceited, all right? I've run nonprofits for years. I've worked for the government in fire, EMS, and law enforcement. I've worked in broadcasting. I have a very wide range of experience in these matters. And I've just given you everything that company should have gave you when you hired them. If you take this video and you show it and you follow this video, what I'm talking about in this video, I'm telling you, I don't mean to sound conceited. I'm sorry if I do. I've just told you everything you need to know. I've told you everything that you need to know, and I guarantee you won't do a single thing on the list. You won't. I don't even think you're going to do the things on their list, to be honest with you. Tomorrow you're going to get up. You're going to put your pants on the same way. You're going to take the same route to work. You're going to sit in the same desk with the same light on. And you're going to do the same thing that you did today. And nothing's going to change. If you want to ride the plane all the way to the crash site, put your belt on, hang on, because that's where you're going. My God, ARRL. You've got this made. You had it great, and you've lost it. Fail to innovate. Fail to change. It's that simple. Fail to listen. Fail to ask. Ask, why are you leaving? Why did you not come back? Ask, why did you pay dues last year but not this year? Ask. I think the only reason you're not asking is because you know the answer. You do. You know the answer, don't you? And that's why you're not asking. It's like the government. The government only commissions a survey or a study when they already know the outcome. They already know the outcome. They're not even going to bother. And that's true. And it sucks, but whatever. I love ham radio, and I'm going to keep doing what I can to keep ham radio real and to hold the ARRL and our local clubs accountable for the mess that they've made out of ham radio, and they've made out of this wonderful hobby that's full of wonderful people. It's just terrible. It is. And all I can really do is use this platform and come out here and tell you guys what I think. But they won't even watch this video because it's negative. They won't even listen to what I have to say because the truth is they already know all this. There's nothing in this video that those CEOs that are getting paid almost $8 million a year at the ARRL don't already know. And that's the bottom line. All right, guys, don't waste your money on the ARRL. If you want to help in ham radio, find people that need help and help them. And if you need help in ham radio, find people that can help you. You know, local radio nets help. Even some of the HF radio nets will get you in contact with people. I'll tell you what, I've met more people through POTA than any other way. I've met the most amazing people, and none of them are members of ARRL. Most of them don't even report to Logbook of the World anymore because it's such a mess. But yet they're the most active people in ham radio. That tells you something right there. When you got 5% of the people, you really don't have that much anymore. And you certainly don't have our voice. You're not the voice of people when you only represent 5% of the people. And that's why it's time, I think, for ARRL to either step up or step out. Because where you're at right now is floundering on the dock. I don't know. I don't think you'll make it back to the water. I really don't. We'll see. Everybody, I know this has been a little grim 2 days in a row, but I really feel these things need to be out there. Someone needs to speak the truth. There's so many shills out there. When I go to these websites and I read about things, you'll read all these negative comments about ARRL or the Logbook of the World or the NTS or the VET, whatever program. And what you'll find in every case is the people who are out there defending, they're members of the ARRL, or they're a president in their local club or whatever. There's someone who's in the system, and they only see it from within the system. And then you look, and there's 10 more negative comments, and then there's another positive comment, and I look, who's this guy up? I look up his call sign. Oh, he's the section coordinator for West Central, whatever. Yeah. And so what you find is there's so many people out there that are just shills. They'll always say something positive no matter what. And that is probably one of the biggest problems we have, is the fact that the ARRL won't address the problem. They're all ignoring it. They all got their head in the sand, unfortunately. That's not good. All right, I'm going to leave it on that note. ARRL, head out of the sand. Or just ride it to the crash site. It's your choice. My name's Ian. I hope to see you down the log, or maybe on the next adventure. This is Starship Adventures. We'll see you next time. 7 Twins.